When I talk to athletes about recovery, they think they've done something wrong. They're like, what do you mean I've got to recover? It's like punishment. It's like, what? I shouldn't have trained hard? Like, this is what you're giving me? Like, what's going on? Recovery isn't about punishment. Recovery is about performance. You're never as strong as you think you are just after you've done a hard session. In fact, just go back and look at your data. The numbers look amazing on the chart. But what's happening internally to you, both physiologically and mentally, is that your body's entering a state of desperate need for restoration. And sleep is part of that. Nutrition is part of that. But also, too, is a lighter training load. And recovery is actually the period that allows us to have the adaptation required, where we absorb the work that you've done and manifest it into something that's more powerful going forward. It's a unique mechanism. It's like a boomerang. It's like rubber bouncing off the road. It's that absorption period, and then the bouncing off of it is what we're thinking of here. So when we think about recovery for you, if it's early in the season, recovery is typically short because we're trying to stack your races together for maximum training, load into race outcomes. But as we think about bigger races or a longer season, then these intermittent rest weeks or sometimes 2-week blocks are opportunities for you to recover just enough that we can get back to training. The mistake that most athletes make is that they don't rest enough after their big race. They look at the numbers, the charts are all going down. The charts are designed to keep you training and training hard. They're not designed to have you be the most rested and well-rounded athlete ever. What training program or platform would be incentivized on that? You wouldn't be showing up because you'd be resting, and you wouldn't be tracking things because you wouldn't be doing anything, right? Think about the game you're playing. So when we get into the piece about recovery, I have to give athletes some pretty focused guidance on what to do and what not to do. So the quick list for you around a playbook for good recovery looks like this. Number one, for whatever the race distance was, so it's 10 hours or 12 hours or 20 hours, whatever that distance was is an expression of time and effort. The number of hours it took you to race is the number of days you need to take easy. Simple as that. 3-hour race, 3 days. 7-hour race, 7 days. 15-hour race, 2 weeks, right? Once you get beyond the 2-week range, we can kind of fuzz it up, right? If you did a 40-hour race, maybe it's 2 weeks, depends if it was just on your feet or what. But number one, use the time it took you to then dedicate the time you need for rest, okay? Number two, when we get into the rest period in your playbook, take away all the weight-bearing exercises. So you can swim, you can elliptical, you can row, you can rollerblade, you can cross-country ski. What you can't do is run. What you can't do is cycle hard. We don't want any type of intensity or hard work happening right now. Our body needs help. Number three, let's spend time doing some mobility exercises. All the things you don't normally do and you're going out of your mind, go for it. Bust out that yoga mat. Let's stretch. Let's take care of your hips, your back. Let's do all the things that we don't normally do in training because we just don't have the time. It's amazing what 30 minutes a day for 2 weeks can do for you for a few months of your training if you dedicate the time and focus to it as well. And then number four, if you're worried about what performance is going to look like when you come back, then I add number four, which is let's pay attention to body composition. Not in a restrictive way, because for sure in the day or two after your race, knock yourself out with the calories. But beyond that, what we're trying to avoid is setting yourself up for the need to reduce weight later in the season when you've already got the weight right now, right? So if you're, like for me, I usually race at 180. If I'm 185, and I know that I haven't hit my key race weight yet, it's still early in the season and I'm in my recovery period, got to be really dialed in with my nutrition, because this time when my training load is low is when I would typically be adding some weight back on. So I try to be really smart and mindful about the distribution of my calories and the quality of them as well, so that I can make it between this little swing period and get back to my regular scheduled training, my calorie consumption go back up again. Not in a negative or disordered way, but just in an intentional, like, hey, now's not the time to pour on the extra calories when I'm not really training. I'll be smart about it. Instead, maybe give myself small little treats and prepare for something big when I get back to training as well. That's your 4-step playbook. I hope it's helpful. If you want to learn more about what it takes to build a great season and how we help athletes shape their great seasons themselves, go to enduranceStation.us. You can sign up for our newsletter, any one of our free courses there, learn more about how we train and work with athletes. And if you're lucky enough, you'll be here before October 15th, and a chance to tune in live and watch me break down a season right in like on camera for you to see how it all works. And also be an opportunity for you to get a discount to come join us and get your roadmap done as part of that process. Excited to learn more about what it is you're training for and to tell you how we can help. Until then, have a fantastic year. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you soon. See you.